Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So I had a little bit of strife at the beginning of the school year. What had happened was I was set to teach Calculus 1, but the class got canceled, and I kind of blame myself for it. Understandably, the enrollment numbers didn't help, but I kind of blame myself for it, and here's why. The week before the class, we had an accountability kind of meeting with all of the adjuncts, and I went to the meeting in a bad mood, and here's why. Just before the meeting, I had gone to the bathroom. I was having some stomach issues. I had gone to the bathroom, and it wasn't that big of a deal, except I didn't realize there was already a puddle of water near the toilet. And so when I pulled my pants down and I finished my business and all that, I realized my pants were all wet. And then the meeting was in half hour. There was no time to go out to get clothes. And I was in a bad mood. I went to the meeting. Long story short, not long after that, the class was canceled. I probably could have put on a better performance if I didn't have that snafu. Leave a comment if anybody would have done something differently. I'm kind of angry at myself because I'm wondering if I made the right decision to go to that meeting. I should have said something like I had an emergency of some sort, right? I don't know if I should. That could have been a bad first impression as well. Leave a comment what you would do if have you ever had a wardrobe kind of issue at work, right? It could be what I had like at the bathroom. It could be a spill. It could be you ripped your pants altogether, right? It could be, I don't know. It could be maybe you had sex with one of your colleagues and now you smell of it, right? Leave a comment on what you would do if you had anything like that happen. Okay. But after I had the mediocre meeting, I wouldn't say disaster, mediocre meeting, and the fact that I lost the contract, it reminded me how unfree I am. And the sooner I have more thallium, more bismuth, more tantalum, and all the other good stuff, the sooner I'll be free to say, hey, I had a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction. Is it okay if I have the meeting remotely? Or something to that effect, right? The sooner I amass the thallium, the bismuth, the tantalum, and the gold and silver, the sooner I can do that. It became a reminder of that. Now, earlier this week, I had another piece of dilemma. I interviewed at a tutoring center, and I should be getting this job. There's a little bit of a problem, though. I struggle with eating disorders. Tutoring tends to stretch all hours of the day, and I might have to take my lunch break there. And when I looked at the facility, they don't have a good kitchenette. And situations like that used to drive me nuts, insane. I don't like not being able to wash my dishes. I am obsessive compulsive about that. Having to bring my containers home and have them sit all afternoon before I could wash them. Not to mention half the time I'm in between homes, right? And I'm hesitating on whether or not I should take that job. To give you an idea of how gross it is, and it's not just me who says it, I am Facebook friends with, believe it or not, a celebrity in Poland, if you could believe it. And when I told her about the situation, she was like, gee, is that even legal? And she's from Poland. A lot of things that we do here at the workplace it would not fly over in Poland, right? So, for example, they get a lot of vacation time over there. And also, some of the workplace drama that I run into for being autistic would be outright illegal if it played out in Poland. Not to mention, as a celebrity, she doesn't have to put up with a lot of shit like that. She could walk away from opportunities that are that toxic, right? And she was like, gee, is that legal? And I'm like, oh man, I need to move to Poland. And she was also pretty grossed out by the idea of not having somewhere to wash your dishes until the end of the day. She was also pretty grossed out by that. It probably wouldn't bother me so much if I had a more stable housing situation, but when I'm jumping from roommate to roommate, I really depend on having a stable place to eat at least, even if I don't have a stable place to sleep. Actually, strike that. I'd much rather have a stable place to eat than a stable place to sleep. And here's why. When I'm well fed, I can think about where to sleep a lot better. The other way around doesn't tend to go very well, right? Even if I'm well slept, it's still hard to think about eating when you don't have a good atmosphere for it, right? I don't know. That's my thoughts. Leave a comment. Would you rather have a good place to eat or a good place to sleep? Leave a comment. I'll let you guys think about that. But I think I choose eating because I think eating is a good foundation for everything else. That's just my feeling about good eating hygiene is a foundation that everything else sits on, right? In my life, at least, right? Without good food, my job performance often suffers, my relationships often suffer, and then my sleep suffers as well, right? And so when I saw the tutoring center in the kind of disarray that it was in and no safe place to eat, it reminded me, God, I need to accumulate 10 tons of tantalum so that I'll never have to be forced to into slavery again, to be forced to be a slave somewhere where I don't even have a place to eat, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.